Hi, this is Michael Lyons, reporting with Extra. I'm talking with Dan Parent, writer and artist with Archie Comics and the creator of Archie's first gay character, Kevin Keller. Hi, Dan. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So just to start off with, you recently won a GLAAD award, which is really exciting.
Yeah, that's great.
And in your speech, you talked about how co-CEO John Goldwater expressed a desire to create diversity within the Archie universe. I mean, it's really interesting in the character of Kevin. I mean, he's very close with his friends and family. He loves food. He wants to go into the military when he's older. Gay, compassionate, caring. And I mean, it's kind of a very well-rounded character. And you explained in your GLAAD acceptance speech about wanting to create a character that kids would want to be friends with. So can you tell us a bit about the actual creation of the character and maybe some of the reasons behind the choices you made?
Creating Kevin came about when we were also having this meeting up in the Archie offices about creating new characters, diversity, and we came up with we brought up the idea, what about a gay character? John Goldwater, the CEO, was like, that sounds like a great idea, but let's come up with some story ideas or some like plot synopsises for the character. We just didn't want to do like a sort of publicity thing where we have a gay character and then we forget about it. We wanted to really make this a character who's going to stick around. So I had to come up with a few sketches and outlines for the character, and then I had come up with a story idea. The basic first plot of the Kevin story was that this Kevin moves into town. Veronica sees him and has the hots for him, and can't figure out why he doesn't have the hots for her. So we sort of use a general Archie sort of premise about dating and crushes and things like that, but with like a little bit of a twist concerning Kevin. And so we liked the story idea. We got a pretty good response, and so that's how it kind of all came about. And then when Kevin debuted in Veronica 202, it was we were just sort of testing to see what would happen.
Fan reaction has been generally positive?
Generally very positive. I mean, I'd say, 98% positive. The only slight resistance we had was some parents were a little concerned. I think because they get confused and they think that if you introduce a gay character, you're adding sex to the books. And we have to, once they saw that we weren't doing that, then most of them were very comfortable. But there's still sort of like this, I guess, this stereotype that goes on that when you introduce someone who's gay, you're bringing in a sexual element, which really there's, and people have pointed this out too, Kevin is probably the most committed character because he's got one boyfriend where Archie goes after like every girl.
Right.
One thing that's been a positive experience is a lot of people have said it's a good talking point for their kids. Like sometimes parents don't know how to bring it up. But when they see it like in a book or even on like television, wherever they see it, sometimes it's a good conversation starter.
Have you had any instances where there's been a negative reaction from fans?
Sure. We've had some negative reaction at some conventions that I appear at. Every once in a while, I'll get someone who it kind of runs the gamut. You get the people who are like, I don't like this at all. I'm not buying Archie comics anymore. That happens. And then you get the people who are like, they're kind of on the fence. And then sometimes they do kind of come around. And then sometimes they sort of like, they don't.
Right. And any instances that stand out in your mind of people who've reacted positively?
Mostly gay teenagers.
Right. That's really great.
Who are comfortable, and it's kind of like a different era now that they can be out and open. And a lot of, I get a positive reaction from them who are like, thank you. And then also, I'd say people who are my age, who grew up in the 1970s, who didn't have a gay role model or any gay characters in media, come up to me and they'll say something like, "If only this was going on when I was a kid." I hear a lot of that because I think the only examples that ever come up are like in the 70s were Billy Crystal's character on Soap and a couple other characters, but it's very select and very rare. But in comic books, it was a total taboo back then.
Right. And these days in comic books, I mean, I was just at the Toronto Comic Arts Festival a couple of weekends ago, and it's just kind of astounding how many gay artists and gay stories are kind of out there now. Would you say that there is kind of a movement to kind of reclaim comics?
I think so, but I think it just reflects, what's going on with our youth. I mean, I've got kids in school, and then there's LGBT groups, and then my kids have got gay friends, and it's such a non-issue.
Right.
Whereas I think it just reflects culture now.
Right. So to talk about the upcoming Kiss and inspired by 1 Million Moms, can you kind of describe to us how that came about?
Yeah, I got into a little trouble with that. So the supporters of 1 Million Moms, I've read a few blogs. You shouldn't read blogs. That's where people really feel free to say what they're thinking. You know, I wasn't dissing 1 Million Moms. Well, maybe I was a little bit, but really, what I'm doing is I'm just sort of really having fun, laughing at it. They sort of came out, you know, against what we were doing, and it kind of worked out really more positively for us because which happens a lot, it seems, for 1 Million Moms. But no, the story is just playfully inspired by that. You know, and the real gist of the story is not about 1 Million Moms. It's really about public displays of affection, and then how gay teenagers or gay people in general it may be different for them to publicly display affection versus someone who's straight. And in the story, Kevin's just giving his boyfriend a kiss goodbye, and an issue is made out of it. Whereas, like, if Archie or Betty and Veronica are kissing, like, it's not even an issue. So that's kind of like really story, I think.
So what would you say continues to make Archie Comics iconic in the industry, and how is Kevin Keller a part of that?
Well, you know, we've been around for 70 years, and, you know, many generations have grown up on Archie Comics, and we are still very influential with young readers, and we have a very strong fan base, and Kevin Keller's a big part of that. Kevin Keller's a big part of where we're going.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for talking to us today. I think that it's really great. Congratulations on the GLAAD Award, and we can't wait for the Kiss.
Oh, great. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Cool.